This is Dr. Mohan Lakshmi, Professor and Head, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology, Kanyakumari District. The topic for the video lecture is pin configuration of 8051 microcontroller and its on-chip RAM. On completion of this video lecture, the student will be able to explain the purpose of each pin of a 8051 microcontroller. They'll be able to explain the alternate functions of the input output ports, and they will be able to say the memory allocation of internal RAM. So before going into the pin configuration of 8051, we'll see the basics of 8051. So it has 4 kilobyte of internal ROM, 128 bytes of internal RAM, 4 8-bit IO ports, which is denoted as port 0 to port 3, and it has 2 16-bit timers or counters, 1 serial port, only 1 on-chip oscillator, which is an external crystal. It has 6 interrupt sources. So this is the comparison of the 8051 family members. So you can see here the various microcontroller is listed in this table. So 8051, 8052, 8031, then 8953 and 8955. So in all these cases, in the first three you can see 8051, 52 and 8031. You could compare and you could see that 8052 has almost double of the ROM and RAM which is present in 8051. And similarly you can see that 8031 is a ROM-less version of 8051. And this 8953 and 55 will have a additional feature which is a watchdog timer, and you also can see that the ROM is high compared to the previous ICs. And coming to the pin configuration, this is the schematic pinout of 8051, and you can see here the various ports are represented: port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, which almost it takes 32 pins out of 40 pins. It's a 40 pin IC, and the remaining pins are dedicated to the connection for the external oscillator. Then some other pins like address latch enable, external access, reset. One pin is allocated for the supply, one pin for the ground, and we have program store enable and all these things. So we'll see one by one the details of these things. Okay, so here coming to the IO ports, as I mentioned already, we have 4 IO ports, which is port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Out of these 4 ports, except for port 1, other ports has an alternate functions, or it is multiplexed with other information. So taking port 0, which is pins 32 to 39, we have 8 pins over here. This will be acting as a general purpose IO for read and write operation, or this will act as a multiplexed lower byte address and data bus for external memory design. Coming to the port 1, it is a standalone port. It will serve only for general purpose input output purpose. And coming to the port 2, again this serves the dual purpose, which is one is a general purpose IO, the other one is the higher byte of the address bus or multiplexed with these port lines for external memory design. And coming to the port 3, this serves the alternate functions. So this serves as a general purpose IO, and if it is not used by any of the peripherals, then this will be serving as a for alternate functions. So each port are bidirectional, so you can use it both for input and output. Coming to this port 3, we can see these are the alternate functions. Say for example, port pin 3.0 and port pin 3.1, it is used for the serial communication, which is receiving the data and transmitting the data. And similarly, port 3.2 pin and port 3.3 pin will serve as an external interrupt, external hardware interrupts. And similarly, port 3.4 pin and 3.5 pin will be used for the external input for the timers. And similarly, we have two more pins, which is 3.6 pin and port 3.7 pin, which is used for the write and the reading of the external data memory. So which is for the write strobe and the read strobe respectively. So port 3 serves the alternate function, many alternate functions. And coming to the other pins of the 8051 other than the ports, we have the program store enable, which is a read signal for the external program memory, which is normally a active low pin. And this is an output pin, and it is normally connected to the output enable pin of the ROM. And coming to the next pin, which is an address latch enable. So this is used to latch the address outputs at port 0 and port 2. So which means that when this pin is given to a particular hardware design which is of with the latches, then we can demultiplex the address information and the data information from the port lines. And coming to the next pin, which is an external access pin. This is an input pin, and this is normally a low pin which is used to access the external program memory. So one thing I want to tell you over here is, so this external access pin, either it should be connected to the VCC or it should be connected to the ground. So again, as this is an active low pin, so when this is an active low, then we are accessing an external memory, like in case of any external memory. So in case of 8031, we don't have ROM, so we can connect it to the active low such that it is accessing an external memory. So what I mean to say is that either it should be connected to the VCC or to the ground, and it should not be left unconnected. So in 8051 we have the ROM on chip itself. So in case we are not requiring any memory other than this 4K ROM, then this can be connected to VCC. And similarly, we have two pins, which is RxD and TxD, which we have already seen, which is the alternate port pin of port 3. And Xtal2 and Xtal1, these are the crystal inputs for the internal oscillator. We can connect an oscillator through these pins, which will provide the clock frequency to the microcontroller. And we have two pins, one for VCC, one for ground, and this voltage source for this one microcontroller is around 5 volt, and the pin number 9, which is a reset pin. So this will reset the microcontroller. And these are the pins we have seen. And coming to the on-chip memory, which is an internal RAM. So of course, as I have mentioned in the basics, 8051 has 128 bytes of internal RAM, where 00 to the location 1F, which will all serve as a general purpose registers, or we have the register banks allocated in this region, where we have 32 bytes allocated for this, where 8 bytes are taken for, or 8 memory locations are taken for register bank 0, other 8 byte for 1. So similarly for bank 2 and bank 3, so we have 32 bytes allocated for the register bank, which is in the lower part of the on chip memory. And next is 20 to 2F. These 16 byte locations are used for the bit addressable. And one thing I want to tell you is that the register bank 1, by default, this will be used for a stack. So in case I am going to use the stack as 8 locations, then I can make use of register bank 1. So that's the reason where the stack pointer will always point to 07, which is the previous location of the stack. And coming to 32-7F, 30 to 7F location, it is used as a scratch pad, which can be used for direct and indirect addressing. And coming to this 80 to FF, which we call it as an upper 128 RAM, which is used purely for the indirect addressing only, and this is dedicated, or this is given for the special function register. So all the addresses of the special function registers like accumulator, B register, or any other register, IE, TCON, whatever it is, this is allocated in the location 80 to FF. So we have lower 128 which is available as an internal RAM. And this is the program status word. So this slide I have put over here is to just to show you that we have register banks 0, 1, 2 and 3. The addresses allocated are right from 00 to 1F, and by default the register bank 0 will be a default register bank. Suppose I want to switch over to other register bank, say for example register bank 1 or 2 or 3, then I need to program the bits of program status word, or I need to set the bits of program status word, which is RS1 and RS0 bit shown over here. So when I set the, by default or by reset, this will be 00. Suppose I give a particular bit to be set as 1, then I can switch over to a register bank, corresponding register bank. Say for example I want to switch over to register bank 1, then I need to set RS0. So the RS1 will be 0, RS0 will be 1, which is 0, 1. Then in that case, I can go for the register bank 1. Suppose I want to go for register bank 2, then I need to set both RS1 and RS0 as 0, 1, 1, which is shown clearly in the table. So of course, the other flags associated here are carry flag, auxiliary carry, which is used by which is internally used. F0 is a user defined flag. Then we have overflow flag and parity flag. And these are the possible assessment questions on the pin configuration and on-chip ROM. So they may ask you like which port of 8051 have alternate function, and what will be the condition of ports when it is reset, which require the pull-up resistor, which port require a pull-up resistor. So port 0 require the pull-up resistor, the remaining or does not require any pull-up resistor. And they may ask you what the alternate functions of port 3, and they may ask you to write certain programs to switch overing from one register bank to the other register bank. Okay, thank you.